So I took Bible study notes, and what I'm about to read is about being joyful always plus our purpose in life in Philippians. The backstory of Philippians is very interesting because here's Paul, he's in prison, and he's writing this letter to a group of Christians in Philippi. And these people that has poured into Paul's life prayed for him, and just these people of love. So he's writing this letter with so much thanksgiving, and he's writing it with a joyful heart. The fact that he wrote this in prison, where if I were in prison, that's probably not the reaction I would get. In Philippians 1:3-4, I give thanks to my God for every remembrance of you, always praying with joy for all of you in my every prayer. This to be is amazing because he's a man of prayer and he's praying in prison. So, as he in prison, the Lord is still working through him. And furthering his kingdom, it's showing that in order to be joyful, it isn't whenever you're happy and everything is going right. In order to be joyful, it must take some sort of discipline to see that he's praying in every circumstance. It shows how I should be praying in every circumstance, even the days I don't feel like it, even the days where I don't feel like I'm not happy, and if I don't feel like praying. So in Philippians 9:10, and I pray this, that your love will keep on growing in knowledge, every kind of discernment, so that you can approve the things that are superior and can be pure and blameless into the day of Christ. And that whole section is awesome. He's praying for these people to just grow in Christ, and it shows how every relationship should be laid down throughout the foundation of Christ. Basically, Paul's mind was so wrapped up in Christ that he didn't care about anything else. The only thing he cared about was Christ's message being carried out. Whether it's being carried out in a big way, in a small way, is it being carried out? And he's praying for these people to that type of love, and is so rooted in Christ that it's just amazing to see that his love was so blind, just like how our love for Christ shouldn't be blind. It should be laid down with the growing knowledge of him. So in Philippians 1:12-13, now I want you to know, my brothers, that what has happened to me actually resulted in the advance of the gospel, so that it has become known throughout the whole imperial regard, and that my imprisonment is the cause of Christ. He's saying how the fact that he's in prison and all these other people feel compelled to speak of Christ's message, because they're like, oh, Paul's in prison and he's still speaking the message of God, and it's still getting passed on. So all these other Christians are encouraged by that, and they're speaking more boldly in Christ, and that just comes to show that we should be speaking bold in Christ's name. We should be bold to proclaim him and everywhere, and just share the message of Christ. Paul was in prison and we're not, and we're here free and able to speak to Christ, to speak the name of Christ. Why aren't we doing that? Why am I not doing that? My name is Ada Sanchez, and this is bye.